If you're old, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is quite an interesting one. I saw this picture of a vest that I really liked, and the first thing that came to my mind was I needed to crochet it, but I realized that I couldn't wait for a whole month or maybe two, because that's how long it's actually going to take me to crochet that kind of a vest, because I am slow and lazy, plus I have other things I do, so I cannot put my whole time into crocheting it. So I thought of using a towel to make it. I mean, why not? Because a towel has the kind of like furry vibes, and the vest is furry and cozy, kind of like. So, anyways, I went to the market. I got 2 towels for it, and really large size towels, because like if you don't get large sizes, you're going to need to buy more towels. So I got large size towels for this work, and I really like the way it turned out. Like I'm really impressed. Although I would have preferred it to be a little bit longer than it is rather, but I'm still happy with the turnout. So let me just show you guys how I made this. Before that, I couldn't help myself, because this whole color combination thing is just too cute. So I made a bucket hat. You guys, this thing is just so, oh my god. Yes, I love it so much, and I'm going to be wearing this for like the next 2 weeks. Yeah, because that's how long it takes me to wear something that I call my favorites. But anyways, I'm not quite done with it yet, so I still have to get all the rough edges weaved. Yikes. So let's just get right into this video. Okay guys, these are the towels I got. I got them in 2 large sizes, and I started off by making a straight line of 5 inches for the length, and I just cut them straight. Like I'm just trying to cut out a rectangle, and I'm just going to repeat the whole process throughout the whole towel for 5 inches length, and I'm just going to cut out 5 inches width. I'm going to show you that. The reason why I cut out 5 inches, 5 by 5 inches, is because I actually wanted my squares to be like big sizes, because I knew that this was going to take like a really long time to finish, and I did not want to waste so much time. I'm just snipping off the hem, the sides that they hem together. I'm just cutting them out, because I don't really need that part, because it's going to be like too hard to sew when I want to sew it. So I'm just cutting off that part and leaving the rest part of the towels. Cutting the width now, 5 inches for the width. Like I said, 5 inches for the length, 5 inches for the width to get a square. And cutting the first part, and I'm just going to repeat the same process for the whole black towel. So this is how they turned out after cutting out the squares. The black towel ended up being more than the white towels, but that's no problem. So we're going to be needing a box of pins, a white chalk, because I couldn't find any other color of chalk, a tape, a bias tape too for binding the edges like the armholes and the neckline and scissors. This is what we're trying to achieve by getting the squares together. Look how neat they are. I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute, but just look how perfect they fit. They might not be equal when you're sewing them because the squares do not turn out to be equal, but it doesn't really matter because you can just cut off the excesses at the end of the day. So what you want to do is to place two of the squares, one black and one white together. Don't do two blacks or two whites together. You have to mix it so that it comes out as a checkerboard kind of like pattern. Then you sew together, then you make another one of this exact type, then you sew them together, and then you put the two pieces together, like you put the black and the white pieces joined together to the other black and the white pieces joined together to get 4 squares. While sewing, the towel is going to fray a lot, but that should not stop you and should not bother you because that it's the kind of fabric it frays a lot. All you just have to do at the end of the day is to weave the ends and everything will be in check. But you just have to like take your time to sew because it's pretty thick. Like these towels I was using, they were pretty thick to sew, so you just have to sew it step by step, no rushing, just take your time, nice and slowly. And I had to make sure that each of my colors align, like each line I sew together align when I am joining the pieces together, because if it doesn't align, then it makes the pattern look a bit wobbly and we don't want that to happen. So we have to make sure that it aligns, like the white and the black are on each other. So this is how it is looking after I finished putting all of the squares together. Like I said earlier, the black squares was more than the white squares, but it did not really matter because the white squares was quite enough for me. So all I just did here was to cut out take my measurements and cut out a shape for the vest. I did not really have any vest or any kind of clothing that looked like what I wanted, so I just took my measurements, my shoulder measurements, my length measurement, and my chest measurements. That was what I took with my armhole. So basically those are like the very basic measurements you can take if you don't have a jacket or a vest or something you can use to place as a pattern. So that will just make it easier for you if you have it. But if you don't have it, you can just take these measurements: your shoulder, your armhole, your chest measurement, and your full length measurement. And I just got it out, and that was it. So I took it to my machine and I began to put pins on them because you don't want them to shift, to go anywhere when we are sewing them. So I have to put pins to put them in place. So I put pins on the shoulders, on the sides, so that everything stays in place. And then after that, you just have to sew it. This is what it is supposed to look like when we're done. although now I just put pins on them and I'm just trying them out to see how it would fit. And I got back on my machine and I started sewing and sewing and sewing this baby up. So after sewing all the sides together, putting all the sides together with the shoulders, it was time to put the bias tape on the armhole and on the neckline and the front part and also the hemline too. So I just basically put pins on them on the bias tape so it stays and doesn't like try to run away from me, and I just sewed it, sew and sew and sew, and I'm just going to finish this off camera and I'm going to come back and show you guys how it looks. Okay you guys, I really enjoyed making this project, like making this DIY, because like it really turned out so nice. Like I loved it so much, although I would have preferred it to be a longer length, like up to my ass, but I still loved making it and it took way little time that I thought. I enjoyed making it and I hope you enjoyed it too. Guys, so much for hanging out with me. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment for me, tell me how I did with this cutie, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, please. Thank you. And don't forget to push the notification bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. See you guys later. Bye bye.